I stared at my phone for the 10th time that evening and whispered, "Why hasn't he replied?" My chest felt tight and I tried to distract myself, but the silence felt wrong. When Ethan finally walked in, I said, "You didn't answer any of my messages." He shrugged. "I was busy." "With what?" I asked. "Work," he muttered, not even looking at me. "You said that yesterday," I whispered. He exhaled sharply. "Why are you acting like this?" "I'm not acting," I said. "I just feel like you're pulling away." "I'm not," he said flatly. I followed him to the living room, watching him toss his phone on the couch. A notification lit up the screen. My heart jumped. I picked it up before I could stop myself. "Who's A?" I asked. He snatched the phone. "Seriously? You're checking my messages now?" "I saw her name pop up," I said. "Why is she texting you at midnight?" "You're imagining things," he snapped. "I literally saw the message," I insisted. "It was nothing," he said. "Stop overthinking." I swallowed hard. "Then show me." "No," he said. "I'm not doing this. Ethan, I'm scared," I whispered. "You're different." He rubbed his forehead. "You always do this. You make a problem out of everything." "I'm trying to understand you," I said softly. "Then stop questioning me," he muttered. The room felt heavier than air. My voice cracked. "Do you still want to be with me?" He paused for a second too long. "I don't want to talk about this right now." I tried to breathe normally. "Then when?" "Tomorrow," he said. "We'll talk tomorrow." His tone cold, distant, final. I felt something inside me shake. "Ethan, please, tomorrow," he repeated, walking away. After he left the room, I called Lily. The moment she answered, I summed, "Something's wrong." "What happened now?" She asked. "He got a message from a girl." I asked him about it, and he got angry. "What did he say?" "That I'm imagining things," I said. "But I know I'm not." She sighed. "I told you he's hiding something." "I'm scared to ask him again," I admitted. "Come over," she said. "You shouldn't be alone." "No, I just need to think," I whispered. "You're shaking, aren't you?" She asked. "Yes. I hate that he's doing this to you," she said. "You deserve honesty." "I don't know what's happening," I said. "He acts like he doesn't even see me." "That's not love," she whispered. Her words stabbed deeper than she meant them to. "What if he's tired of me?" "That's not the problem," she said firmly. "The problem is he's lying." "I want to believe him," I said. "You already know the truth," she replied. "You just don't want to say it out loud." My throat tightened. "He told me we have to talk tomorrow." She went silent for a moment. "That sounds serious." I closed my eyes. "I'm terrified, Lily." "You're not alone," she said. "I'm here." "Thank you," I whispered. After the call, I lay on my bed staring at the ceiling. My mind kept replaying his cold voice. "Tomorrow." I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but the fear wouldn't leave. I whispered to myself, "Why does it feel like he's already gone?" Every shadow in the room felt heavier. I kept checking my phone, expecting him to say anything, but there was nothing. Just silence. The kind of silence that feels like an ending. I curled up and held my breath, hoping morning wouldn't come, because I already knew tomorrow would change everything. Ethan had already decided something. And deep down, I felt the truth pressing against my chest. Tomorrow was going to break me. Tomorrow was going to break me. I barely slept, but I still asked him, "What did you want to talk about?" His expression said everything before he even opened his mouth. "We should end this," he said. My breath caught. "And what?" "Our relationship." I felt the words hit me like a punch. "Why? What did I do?" "You didn't do anything," he said. "You just don't fit into my future anymore." My voice trembled. 5 years, Ethan, 5 years. "And that's all you have to say?" He looked away. "I've changed. So change with me," I whispered. "Talk to me. Fight for us." "I don't want the same life you want," he said. "I want more. More than me?" I asked. "More than me?" I asked. He didn't answer. I stepped closer. "Is there someone else?" I stepped closer. "Is there someone else?" He hesitated. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" I demanded. "Tell me the truth. You'll find out anyway," he muttered. I felt cold spreading through my chest. "Ethan, please," he exhaled. "Her name is Ariana." My stomach flipped. Ariana? Who is she? She understands my goals, he said. She fits into the kind of life I want. I was your life. You were? He said quietly. But I want something better now. Better? I whispered. So I'm not enough. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. His eyes flickered with something regret or guilt. I couldn't tell. This is for the best. For who? I asked. For you? Yes, he said. I felt myself break. And what about me? You'll move on, he replied. I tried to stand straight, but my knees felt weak. You're really doing this. I'm sorry. No, you're not, I said. You're relieved. Before he could respond, a voice behind him said, What's going on? I turned and saw Daniel, his older brother. His eyes moved from my face to Ethan's. Did you seriously just? It's none of your business, Ethan said. Daniel ignored him and looked at me. Are you okay? No, I whispered. Daniel's jaw tightened. Ethan, what did you do? I told her the truth, Ethan said. It's time. Time for what? Daniel asked. To throw her away? Don't start, Ethan muttered. Daniel stepped forward. She loved you, Ethan shrugged. Love isn't enough. I forced myself to breathe. It's fine. He made his choice. Daniel shook his head. You deserved better than this. I don't want to talk about this, Ethan said. Daniel glared. Of course you don't. I wiped my eyes. I'm leaving. No, wait. Daniel started, but I stepped back. I can't stand here anymore, I whispered. I walked away, but before I reached the gate, I heard a girl laughing, a sharp, rich, confident laugh. I turned. A beautiful girl in designer clothes walked toward Ethan and wrapped her arm around his. Ariana. She looked me up and down like I was something she'd scrape off her shoe. Is this her? She asked. Ethan nodded. Ariana smirked. Oh, my chest burned. So this is your better future. She can give me a better life, Ethan said. The words sliced right through me. Ariana leaned on him. Come on, Ethan, let's go. Daniel looked horrified. You said that to her? Are you out of your mind? Ivan avoided his gaze. It's the truth. No, Daniel said. It's cruelty. I felt the world tilt. I need to leave. I turned before they could see me fall apart. My steps were shaky, but I kept moving. Behind me, I heard Ariana's giggle, Ethan's quiet voice, Daniel's angry words, but they all sounded far away. I whispered to myself, he chose her, and the ground beneath me felt like it disappeared. I didn't know heartbreak could feel like this, like someone had carved a hollow space inside my chest and left it echoing. For days, I stayed in my room, barely moving. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Ethan walking away with Ariana. Every time I opened them, reality reminded me he wasn't coming back. Why wasn't I enough? I whispered into the darkness more times than I could count, but the silence never gave me answers. On the third morning, I reached for my phone out of habit, only to see the same painful message. User not found. Ethan had blocked me everywhere: Instagram, WhatsApp, even the old shared playlist we used to update together. When I checked our gallery, all our pictures were gone. Every memory erased like I had never existed. I stared at the blank screen and muttered to myself, how can someone forget 5 years so easily? Mom knocked gently before opening my door. Sweetheart, she said in a soft voice, you haven't eaten properly in days. Come downstairs. I made soup. I'm not hungry, I mumbled, pulling the blanket closer. She stepped inside anyway. I know your heart is hurting, but starving yourself won't make it better. I don't know what I did wrong. Mom sat beside me and placed her hand over mine. You didn't do anything wrong. Some people break hearts because they're too weak to honor them. I swallowed hard. He deleted everything. Like I was nothing. Her eyes softened. That boy didn't know your worth. But one day you will look back and be grateful he let you go. I wanted to believe her, but the ache in my chest felt endless. A few hours later, Lily arrived without texting. She walked right in, sat beside me, and said, Okay, I'm not leaving until you talk. I don't want to talk, I whispered. Too bad, she replied firmly. You didn't deserve any of this, and you're not going to suffer alone. I refused to let you. I suddenly felt tears spill over. Lily, he replaced me in one day. She hugged me tightly. He didn't replace you, he downgraded. Big difference. A small laugh escaped me despite the pain. I wish I could believe that. You will, she said, brushing my hair back. But right now, you need to breathe. 1 minute at a time. Her presence filled the room with warmth, something I desperately needed. She stayed for hours, talking about anything and everything just to distract me. When she finally left, the room didn't feel as suffocating as before. That night, my phone buzzed with a new message. For a second, my heart jumped. I hated that part of me still hoped it was Ethan, but it wasn't. It was Daniel. Hey, I heard things got bad. Just checking on you. I hesitated before replying. I'm trying to get through the days. His response came quickly. You're stronger than you think. His response came quickly. You're stronger than you think. I stared at those words for a long moment. Ethan had never talked to me like that. Daniel's tone wasn't pity, it was steady, reassuring, gentle. I don't feel strong at all, I typed back. You don't have to feel it right now. Sometimes strength is just waking up after a heartbreak. His next message was simple but warm. Anytime. You're not alone, okay? For the first time in days, I didn't feel like the room was collapsing around me. I didn't suddenly stop hurting, but Daniel's words created the smallest spark of light in the darkness. And right now, even a small spark felt like hope. I never realized how small a city could feel until Ethan and Ariana started displaying their relationship everywhere. No matter where I went, cafes, markets, even outside campus, they were there, laughing loudly, holding hands like they wanted the world to watch. One afternoon, I was standing outside a bookstore when I heard Ariana's voice behind me. Oh my God, look at her outfit, she said loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Is that cotton from the clearance rack? A few people around her snickered. I froze, pretending I didn't hear, but her footsteps came closer. It's kind of cute though, she continued, dripping with sarcasm. In a poor, trying her best way. My cheeks burned. I gripped my bag strap tightly and whispered, just walk away, just walk away. But then Ethan's voice joined in. Ariana, stop, he said, then smirked at me. She can't help it. We're from different worlds now. The laughter around them got louder. I felt something in my stomach twist painfully. Ethan, why are you doing this? I asked quietly, trying to keep my voice from shaking. Haven't you hurt me enough? He shrugged. Don't be dramatic. I'm just being honest. Ariana leaned her head on his shoulder like she owned him. Babe, she's sensitive, she said, mocking my tone. You've moved on. She should too. Behind her, a girl with overly styled hair whispered loudly to a guy beside her. Riley, she introduced herself to Ariana. Did you see how she's standing alone? Pathetic. The guy next to her snorted. Mark, he said to Ethan, dude, your ex looks like she bought her entire outfit for $5. My throat tightened. I whispered, why are you all doing this? Riley rolled her eyes. Relax, it's just a joke. It's not funny, I said, my voice cracking. Mark crossed his arms. Come on, if you can't take a little teasing, that's your problem. I felt every eye on me. Every whisper stabbed like a needle. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Then I heard another voice, firm, sharp. Enough. Daniel stepped between us. His jaw clenched. His eyes cut straight to Ethan. What the hell is wrong with you? Ethan frowned. Daniel, stay out of it. No, Daniel snapped. You don't get to stand here and humiliate her like she's nothing. Ariana scoffed. Oh, please, or just... Daniel held up a hand. I wasn't talking to you. Riley gasped dramatically. Wow, rude. Daniel ignored her completely. He turned to me. Come here? I hesitated, but he gently placed a hand on my arm and guided me away from the crowd. His voice lowered. You don't need to listen to any of that garbage. My breathing trembled. They wouldn't stop. I know, he said. And Ethan should have shut it down the second it started. I swallowed. He laughed with them, Daniel. He actually laughed. Daniel's expression hardened. Then he's even worse than I thought. I looked down at my clothes, feeling small. Maybe Ariana's right. Maybe I do look... No, Daniel interrupted firmly. Don't finish that sentence. I blinked at him. You're not the problem, he said. They are. A lump formed in my throat. Why is he being so cruel? Because he's trying to impress people who don't matter, Daniel replied quietly. People like Mark and Riley. People who think tearing others down makes them important. I felt my eyes sting. He used to be kind, Daniel nodded slowly. Yeah, once. But whatever you saw in him, it's gone. His words hit harder than I expected, because deep down I already knew they were true. Daniel looked at me gently. Let's go. You don't need to stand here another second. As he walked beside me, I realized something I wasn't ready to admit until now. Ethan wasn't the person I once loved. He had become someone I didn't recognize anymore. When I woke up that morning, something inside me felt different. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe it was anger. Maybe it was every tear I'd shed finally drying up, but I whispered to myself, I can't keep crying. Not anymore. Mom peeked into my room. Are you getting up today? Yeah, I said quietly. I need to do something with my life, she smiled softly. I'm proud of you. A week later, I started my new office job. I stood in front of the glass doors, my hands trembling. You can do this, I whispered to myself. Inside, a cheerful voice called, Hi. You must be the new girl. I turned to see a woman with warm eyes waving at me. I'm Hannah, she said. Don't worry, we're not scary. I laughed nervously. I hope not. I'm still recovering from a lot. She nudged me gently. Well, you'll recover faster with us around. As she walked me to my desk, a guy popped up from behind a computer monitor. Is this the new recruit? He asked dramatically. I blinked. Yes? He grinned. Jason, office clown. If you need laughter, snacks, or someone to complain to, I'm your guy. Hannah rolled her eyes. Don't scare her. I'm actually not scared, I said, smiling a little. See? Jason said proudly. She likes me already. It felt strange but good, normal, like I was allowed to smile again. Later during lunch, Hannah asked, So, any fun gossip from your old life? I hesitated. Not fun. More painful. Jason leaned forward. Bad breakup? I nodded. 5 years. Ended in the worst way possible. Hannah's face softened. I'm sorry. Whoever he is, he doesn't deserve you. Jason pointed his fork at me. Exactly. Anyone who makes you cry isn't worth a single tear. Their kindness settled into the cracks of my heart. That evening, my phone buzzed. Daniel, how was your first day? I smiled before I replied. Surprisingly okay. He responded instantly. Good, you deserve steady ground. You deserve someone loyal. I stared at his message for a long moment. Why do you always know exactly what to say? I murmured. A few days passed. Work slowly became something I looked forward to. Hannah would toss me a chocolate and say, Victory snack for surviving another morning. Jason would slide into my cubicle and whisper, Let's pretend we're busy when the boss walks by. Their antics made the heaviness inside me feel less suffocating. One afternoon, while typing an email, I heard Daniel's voice behind me on the phone. Are you free to talk? He asked when I answered. Yeah, what's up? I said. Nothing serious, he murmured. Just checking on you. You don't have to keep doing that, I said softly. I don't want to be a burden. You're not, he said firmly. You never were. His tone was so sincere it made something warm spread through my chest. Later that night, I looked into the mirror. My eyes were still a little tired, but there was something there I hadn't seen in months' life. I whispered, I'm getting better, aren't I? For the first time, I believed it. The next morning, Hannah greeted me with, Good energy today. Jason added, She's glowing. Someone had a good night, I laughed. Please stop making things weird. Never, Jason said proudly. As I settled into my seat, I realized something important. I wasn't healed, not fully. But I wasn't broken anymore either. Something inside me was growing again, small but steady. A spark, and for the first time in a long time, it felt like mine. I was finally starting to feel normal again, and yet everywhere I turned, I kept hearing whispers about Ethan and Ariana. Did you hear? Someone would say. They're always fighting now. I shrugged each time, trying not to care. But curiosity gnawed at me. How could the perfect couple I used to envy fall apart so quickly? One afternoon, I went to the cafe near my office, hoping to grab a coffee and breathe. And there they were. Ariana's voice pierced the quiet room. You're not good enough for my standards, she shouted. I froze. Every head turned, and I could see Ethan standing there, shoulders slumped, looking completely defeated. You promised me things would change, Ariana continued, her arms waving dramatically. I can't keep pretending you're capable of what I need. Ethan's lips moved, but I couldn't hear him at first. Then he whispered, I'm trying. Trying? Ariana scoffed. Trying isn't enough. You never even understood me. I bit my lip, feeling a mix of satisfaction and pity. I had seen the man who broke my heart. And now he looked smaller, less sure of himself, like a shadow of who I thought he was. Ethan finally raised his voice. I can't be perfect for you all the time. Oh, so now it's my fault? Ariana snapped. You always blame me, you never listen. Ethan's hands dropped to his sides. He looked around at the gathering crowd, embarrassed, his face red. Please just stop. But Ariana wasn't done. Stop? Stop ignoring everything I want. Stop being weak. I leaned against the wall, barely breathing. I had imagined a million ways to see them fail, but this watching them implode in public was both surreal and relieving. I whispered under my breath, so this is what it feels like when reality hits, someone behind me said. They always seem so perfect now, I see it was just for show. I nodded silently, not taking my eyes off them. The arrogance, the laughter, the confidence, they were all gone. Only frustration and tension remained. Ethan's voice cracked. I thought you loved me. Ariana laughed bitterly. I love the idea of you. But ideas aren't enough, are they? Ethan swallowed hard. I didn't realize, she shot back. You never realize anything until it's too late. I felt my chest tighten. I had mourned the man who left me, and now I saw him reduced to this powerless against someone he thought he could control. I whispered again, softly this time. Their perfect world was just an illusion. Ethan hung his head and muttered, I'm sorry. Ariana didn't respond. She stormed off, heels clicking against the floor. Ethan watched her go, shoulders slumped, completely silent. I blinked away a tear I didn't realize had formed. And I thought I'd lost everything, I murmured. Turns out some illusions are better left behind. For the first time, I didn't think about revenge or sadness. I only felt clarity. I had been blind before, but now, seeing their unraveling, I understood exactly what I had escaped. Ethan had been my whole world once. And now, watching him crumble, I realized the world I was building for myself was finally real. I straightened my shoulders and whispered, I'm not him. I'm not like them. I can be better. And for the first time in months, I felt a spark of genuine, unstoppable freedom. My phone buzzed while I was typing a report and I saw his name, Ethan, I miss you. Please talk to me. I stared at the screen for a long moment. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, but I didn't reply. I remembered the way he left me, the way he laughed with her, the way he made me feel invisible. And not replying, I whispered to myself, not now, not ever. A few hours later, he messaged again. I need to explain. Can we talk? I still ignored him. My hands felt steady this time, my heart a little stronger. I didn't need him. I had Hannah, Jason, and Daniel checking on me. I had myself. The next day, he somehow cornered me outside my office. Please just hear me out, he said, his voice unusually soft, almost small. I crossed my arms. I'm listening. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. It's Ariana, she's impossible. I didn't realize how much work this would be. You mean she's not perfect? I asked, my tone calm. Not angry. Just steady. I thought I wanted more, but I can't do it with her. I'm lost, he admitted, voice breaking slightly. I looked at him, really looked at him, and for a second, a flicker of my old feelings tugged. But I shook it off. Ethan, I'm not the girl you left behind. I'm not waiting for you to make mistakes and apologize. His eyes widened. What do you mean? I've changed, I said firmly. I've healed, I've grown, and I'm focusing on my life now. You can't just waltz back in and expect things to be the same. He ran a hand over his face. I just wanted you to know I'm struggling. I miss us. I took a slow breath. You miss a version of me that doesn't exist anymore. I'm not that girl. And honestly, I wouldn't go back, even if I could. He looked down, guilt written all over his face. I never thought I'd regret what I did, but I do. Every day. And you should, I said quietly. But I'm not here to fix your life. Daniel appeared behind me, his arms crossed and his jaw tight. I didn't need him to say a word, his glare said it all. Ethan's attempt to come back wasn't welcomed. Daniel stepped forward, voice low and controlled. Leave her alone, Ethan. She's not yours to manipulate. Ethan looked between us, guilt and frustration mixing. Daniel, I'm not trying to manipulate her, Just what? Daniel cut him off sharply. Just realizing what you lost too late? She's stronger than you, Ethan. stronger than both of you combined. I felt a surge of calm wash over me. Daniel's support reminded me that I wasn't vulnerable anymore. I could stand my ground. I see that now, Ethan whispered, his voice smaller than ever. I made a huge mistake. Then learn from it, I said. And stop dragging me into your mess. He nodded slowly, eyes on the ground. I understand. I turned toward the office door. Good, that's the first step. Daniel glanced at me. You're really different now, he said quietly. He can't touch you anymore. I smiled faintly. I know, and it feels incredible. Ethan didn't follow. He didn't say another word. He walked away, defeated. And for the first time I realized I had survived him. I had survived everything he took from me. I whispered to myself as I walked inside, head held high. I'm not that girl anymore. And I never will be. Daniel called me into his apartment one evening. Sit down, he said, closing the door behind me. His expression was serious, tighter than usual. What's going on? I asked, heart tightening. He sighed. I think it's time you knew the truth about Ariana. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? He pulled out his phone and handed it to me. Look at these. I scrolled through the messages, my eyes widening. Ariana had been sending texts to him behind Ethan's back. Daniel, he's so boring. I need someone better. I can't stand his taste in anything. I deserve more. I felt my hands tremble. She's been saying all this about him to you? Daniel nodded, his jaw tight. Yes, she wanted someone better, someone exciting. And she flirted with me to make Ethan jealous. I swallowed hard. So she never actually cared about him? Not really, Daniel said quietly. It was all for show. To make herself feel superior. To make him chase her. A strange mix of emotions hit me, relief, sadness, and a little vindication. He replaced me with someone who didn't even want him, I whispered. Daniel nodded. Exactly. And that's the hardest part for him now. Just then my phone buzzed. It was Ethan. Daniel told you, didn't he? I didn't reply. I wasn't sure I wanted to. I heard a knock at the door. Daniel opened it and Ethan stepped inside, looking smaller, fragile. His eyes flicked to me. I know you know now, he said, voice low. I nodded slowly, keeping my voice calm. Yes, I saw the messages. Ethan ran a hand over his face. She was flirting with you? And in everything she said? Daniel stepped forward. Yes, Ethan. She called you boring and said she wanted someone better. Ethan sank onto the couch, head in his hands. I can't believe I fell for it. I replaced someone amazing for this? His voice cracked. I felt a strange sense of closure. I had mourned him, hated him, feared him, yet seeing him like this, broken because of someone else's lies, made something inside me finally release. I guess karma has a funny way of teaching lessons, I whispered. Ethan lifted his head, eyes red. I made the biggest mistake. And I lost everything, including you. I looked at him and shook my head slowly. I'm not yours anymore, Ethan, and I don't think I ever want to be. He swallowed hard. I understand, but I just needed to say it. Daniel stepped beside me. He needed to see the truth, but it doesn't change your life. You're moving forward. He's just finally seeing what he lost. I nodded. Yes, and that's enough for me. Ethan stayed silent, staring at the floor. I'm sorry, he whispered again, almost to himself. I gave him a small, calm smile. I forgive you, but not for you. For me, I don't want to carry this anymore. He exhaled shakily, eyes filling with regret. I never thought she could be so cruel. I shook my head. She wasn't cruel to me, Ethan. You were already gone by the time she came along. You made your choice. He slumped, completely defeated. I looked at Daniel and whispered, thank you for showing me this. I needed to see it. Daniel smiled faintly. You didn't need him to realize it. You just needed the truth. I stared at Ethan one last time, broken, small, and regretful. And I finally felt free. For the first time in months, I truly believed I could move on. I was at the cafe, trying to enjoy a quiet morning with my coffee when the argument started outside. I saw Ethan storming toward Daniel, his face red with anger. Daniel, you've been lying to me, Ethan shouted, fists clenched. I haven't lied to you, Ethan. You just didn't want to see the truth. Daniel fired back, voice steady but sharp. I stayed inside, hiding behind my cup, feeling a strange mix of curiosity and dread. Stop protecting her, Ethan yelled. You're supposed to be my brother. And I am, Daniel said firmly. But I'm not going to let you continue hurting her. Ethan's voice cracked. She left me. You were supposed to make her stay. I didn't make anyone do anything, Daniel snapped. You made your own choices. At that moment, Ariana appeared, her high heels clicking against the pavement. Fine. I'll admit it, she said dramatically. I used you, Ethan. I only wanted to get closer to Daniel. I felt my coffee cup slip from my hand, spilling a little on the table. I didn't move. I couldn't. The truth was finally out, and it was worse than I imagined. Ethan's face went pale. You used me? Ariana shrugged, unbothered. Yes, and now you understand how it feels to be manipulated. Daniel shook his head, jaw tight. You should leave. Both of you, now. Ethan's shoulders slumped, and he covered his face with his hands. I can't believe I fell for her. I thought I was making the right choices, and I hurt everyone. I didn't step outside yet. I wanted to see how far he would fall. Minutes later, Ethan came toward me, face wet with tears. I'm sorry, he said, voice breaking. I hurt you so badly. Now I know how it feels. I looked at him, my heart clenching, but not in the old way. Not with love, just understanding. I don't hate you, I said softly. But you need to live with this pain. It's your own lesson, Ethan. Your choices brought you here. He looked at me, hope flickering in his eyes. Do you forgive me? I shook my head slightly. I forgive you, yes. But I won't take you back. Not now, not ever. His lips trembled. I don't deserve it. I never deserved you. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Exactly. And that's something you'll have to accept for the rest of your life. Ethan's eyes filled with tears again. I can't believe I lost you to this mess. I stepped back. You didn't lose me to anyone. You lost me to yourself. I can't fix the damage you did. Daniel watched silently, arms crossed, still tense. He didn't say a word, just gave me a subtle nod, as if saying, it's your choice now. I turned to leave, holding my head high. Ethan's sobs followed me, echoing down the street, but I didn't look back. I walked past the cafe doors, past the tables, past the people who stared, past the memories that once chained me. And with each step, I felt the weight of the past fall off my shoulders. Ethan's cries became background noise, insignificant to my world now. For the first time, I walked away from him truly, completely, and didn't look back. No guilt, no longing. Just freedom. A strange, exhilarating smile spread across my face. I had survived him, survived them, survived the lies, the betrayal, and the heartbreak. And for the first time, I felt unstoppable. I woke up that morning and realized something had changed. The heaviness in my chest wasn't there. My eyes felt brighter, my steps lighter. I whispered to myself, I can do this. I can finally move on. At work, Hannah waved me over. You've been glowing lately. What's your secret? I laughed softly. No secret, just focusing on myself. Jason leaned over my cubicle. She's unstoppable now. Look at her typing like a queen. I smiled. Well, someone has to be productive while you're goofing off. Hannah chuckled. You're really happy, aren't you? I think I am, I admitted. For the first time in months, I'm actually enjoying life again. Later that evening, Daniel and I went for a walk. The sky was pink and orange, and the cool breeze made me feel alive. You seem different, he said softly. Calmer, stronger. I looked at him, eyes meeting his. I feel different. Like I finally own my life, not letting anyone else control it. He smiled, a small, genuine smile. I've seen you grow so much. You're incredible. I felt a warmth in my chest. Thanks, Daniel. I couldn't have done it without your support. Even when you weren't saying much, you were there. He shrugged, trying to hide his smile. Someone had to make sure you didn't completely lose it after Ethan. I laughed softly. I'm not going to lie. Seeing him crumble taught me a lot too. But now I want my life, not revenge, not pain. Daniel's hand brushed against mine. I didn't pull away. Instead, I felt safe, valued, understood. That night, my phone buzzed. Ethan, please, can we talk? I need you back. I stared at the screen for a moment, then typed deliberately. No, Ethan, I don't love you anymore. I love myself now. I hit send and immediately felt a surge of power. The words weren't just letters, they were my truth, my freedom, my declaration. Moments later, he called. His voice was small, desperate. I just wanted you to know. I held up a hand. Ethan, stop. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not waiting for your apologies, your tears, or your regrets, and mine now. There was a pause. I could hear his breath hitch. I don't understand. You will, I said, voice steady, firm, unshakable. One day you'll realize what you lost, but I don't need you to. I'm free. His voice faltered. I am sorry. Goodbye, Ethan, I said softly, yet with strength. I'm done. I ended the call and sat back, taking a deep breath. My chest felt open, unburdened, alive. Daniel walked in behind me, curiosity written on his face. Everything okay? I smiled at him, better than okay. I finally feel powerful. Not because of anyone else, but because I chose myself. He nodded, eyes warm. You've always had that power. You just needed to see it yourself. I laughed softly. It's a good feeling realizing you can survive everything and come out stronger. He smiled again, closer this time, and I felt something tender, something safe. And you deserve every bit of it, he said. I whispered, more to myself than anyone else. I deserve it all. And I'm going to take it. For the first time in years, I felt complete. My heart wasn't broken. My mind wasn't clouded. My soul wasn't chained. I had lost him, lost them, lost the past, but in that loss, I had found myself. And the power I never knew I had? It was mine, all mine. I sat on the park bench, phone in hand, staring at Ethan's last message. I miss you. Please, can we talk? My heart clenched for a moment, but I took a deep breath. This time, it wasn't for him, it was for me. I whispered, I deserve peace. I deserve to let go. I typed slowly, deliberately. Ethan, I forgive you. Not for you, but for me. I didn't hit send immediately. I read the words again, feeling the weight of them settle in my chest. Forgiveness wasn't for him. It was the final step in freeing myself. When I finally pressed send, my phone buzzed almost instantly. He called. Please, let me explain, he said, voice trembling. I shook my head, holding back a lump in my throat. Even I don't need explanations anymore. I need closure. I forgive you, but I can't go back. He choked on a sob. I hurt you so much. And I didn't even see it until it was too late. I know, I said softly, my voice steady. You don't need to beg for forgiveness. You already have it. But I have to move forward. That's all that matters now. There was silence on the other end. I could hear him breathing heavily, overwhelmed by regret. I'll never forget what I lost, he whispered, almost to himself. You don't need to, I said quietly. But I will. And it's time I live for myself, not for anyone else's mistakes. Ethan's voice cracked. I am so sorry. I reached out to touch his hand through the screen, wishing it could reach him. I know, but your pain is yours. My life is mine now. He let out a shuddering sigh. I don't know how you can be so strong. I smiled faintly, eyes misty. It wasn't easy. But I realized holding on to anger and heartbreak only chained me. Forgiveness freed me. You're incredible, he said, voice small. I gave a soft laugh. Thank you. But incredible isn't about being with someone who hurt you. It's about rising above it without them holding you down. He whispered, I wish I could take it all back. I shook my head, even though he couldn't see it. Some things can't be undone. But that doesn't mean they control your life or mine. He sobbed quietly. I don't deserve you, you don't. I agreed gently. But that's not what this is about. It's about me reclaiming my life. The call ended and I set the phone down. I felt lighter, like a weight I didn't even realize I carried had lifted. Daniel, who had been sitting beside me quietly, put a hand on my shoulder. You did the right thing, he said softly. I'm proud of you. I smiled at him, gratitude washing over me. Thanks for staying by my side for everything. You never forced anything. You just supported me. He shrugged, a small grin on his face. Someone had to make sure you didn't lose yourself completely. And honestly, I'm glad it was me. I laughed softly. I am too. It feels different with you, safe, healthy, real. Daniel's eyes met mine, gentle and steady. That's because it is. No games, no lies, no hurt. Just trust and respect. I leaned back, breathing in the fresh air. The sun dipped low, painting the sky with pink and gold. I felt peace in a way I hadn't in years. My phone buzzed again, one last message from Ethan. I opened it, read it, then smiled faintly. I pressed delete. This is my new beginning, I whispered softly. Daniel squeezed my hand and I felt warmth spread through me. I wasn't afraid anymore. I wasn't broken, I wasn't looking back. I had survived heartbreak, betrayal, lies, and loss. And now I was finally free to build the life I wanted. The power wasn't in forgiving him, it was in choosing myself, in rising above, and embracing the woman I had become. I stood, feeling the wind brush against my face, the warmth of the setting sun on my skin. Every step I took forward felt lighter, stronger, alive. Daniel walked beside me, quiet, steady, a comforting presence. I didn't need to speak. The silence was enough. Because this time I was walking towards something real, something mine. Something I had earned. I whispered again, more to myself than anyone else. This is my life, my happiness, my freedom. And with that, I finally believed it.